normally on a walk-off winner like that, I think you start the game on the walk-off, but I think that the story here is pretty obvious. And regardless of the outcome, I think we start with Chase Burns. I wrote down a couple of words just kind of watching Chase Burns. It felt like he was deliberate, nicely paced, calm, cool, and collected. He was confident on the mound and honestly looked effortless to him. I mean, he's up there throwing 100 miles an hour pretty consistently, but didn't even look like he was trying. Last night, you talked about the concerns around adrenaline and potentially walking some folks, and ends up going 5 innings and not walking a single batter. What'd you like from Chase Burns tonight?
Well, I liked everything about Chase Burns tonight.
What didn't you like Chase Burns tonight?
Yeah, I thought about an hour ago, Craig, we would talk about Chase Burns for 30 minutes, spend 5 minutes talking about the rest of the game, and go on our merry way. But the game, as it often does, went quite a bit different than I think we thought it was going to go. But yeah, I mean, Burns was incredible. What happened, in the 4th inning on, I don't really care. The fact that he came out as poised as he did, not even the strikeouts, just the command. The 5 strikeouts in a row, that's incredible. He obviously showed how dominant he can be. The fact that in his big league debut, he did not walk a single batter against the New York Yankees. This wasn't the Chicago White Sox. This is the New York Yankees that he's facing. Doesn't walk a batter. That's incredible. I mean, his first start against the Iowa Cubs, that when he got to AAA, like, his command was really rough that first inning, and I kind of just thought, probably will get that tonight. But I think his maturity has really gone a long way. I know that back when he was with Tennessee, I mean, which is a while ago, I think some of the reports and concerns were that he would get too animated. I mean, there is an incredible GIF and video of him at Tennessee absolutely losing his mind after a strikeout. Watch that and then watch the way he was poised, like you said, tonight, and it's a drastic leap. So the interview with his parents was awesome. One of my favorite parent interviews. But credit, his dad looks like a guy that I think has really helped him with his maturity, and shout out to him. I mean, because the Reds got an absolute superstar.
Yeah. Both of his parents in the armed forces, so certainly came up in a house with, I'm sure, plenty of rules, and as you said, just looked poised tonight. I thought just from the very beginning, the very first pitch set the tone. It was 98 miles an hour, painted on the inside corner. That at bat, he goes 98 painted inside corner, 100, 99, and then gets Trent Grisham to swing and miss at a 93 mile an hour slider down and in. Almost reminded me a little bit of the peak Nick Lodolo curveball that he would throw down and into righties, obviously mirrored with his slider down and into lefties. But that at bat obviously set the tone. And then the very next at bat, Ben Rice comes up. He gets behind 3-0, something he did 3 times tonight, and all 3 times ended those at bats with strikeouts. And I thought that was really impressive to have the poise to get behind 3-0 and still be able to come back and strike guys out. He relied on all of his pitches tonight, obviously some more than others, but of his 8 strikeouts, 3 of them were on the slider, 3 of them were on the fastball, and 2 of them were on the changeup. So that confidence that he had in all of his pitches to be able to throw them for strikes and to get outs with them really shined through. And that confidence, I think, ultimately is going to be something that carries him through his career in terms of his success.
Yeah, 6 whiffs on 15 swings against the slider. The slider just looks incredible. And I think like his curveball still sort of in the infancy stages. Like, I think that's going to get better. And if he's able to develop that curveball a little bit more, make it a little bit more crisp, make it break a little bit more, I mean, that's just going to make his other pitches even more dominant. So, look, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's not expect that he's going to come out and look this dominant every start. He'll probably take some lumps along the way. But Chase Burns made absolutely no mistake that he is ready for the big leagues. He's 1,000% deserves to be here, deserves to stay here, and the Reds have got a really, really good one, and just exciting to have another talented player that has the potential. I'll say this, Craig. The cool thing is the Reds have 3 players right now on their roster that I don't think you have to squint that hard to say they could be a top 5 player at their position. And I'm talking, obviously, Ellie De La Cruz. I'm talking about Hunter Greene, and I'm talking about Chase Burns. Now, that's the absolute ceiling. Like, let's not act like they're for sure going to get there. But to have 3 players, that ceiling, it's not that hard to squint to think of. It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is just the beginning for Chase Burns. I do want to talk briefly about that 4th, because even though we're talking today about a box score recap where he ends up going 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, this very easily could have been a 5 inning, 6 hit, 1 run performance out of Chase Burns. Obviously, TJ Friedl makes the decision to go diving for an Anthony Volpe line drive. I personally thought that had he just let the ball fall, pick it up, Aaron Judge is not known for his speed, probably could have held him at 3rd. And then obviously next batter, Austin Wells flies out to the 3rd base, and he would have been out of the inning without any further damage after that leadoff home run from Ben Rice. Unfortunate, but again, the fact that he was able to buckle down after that, I'll call mental error from TJ Friedl, and get the next guy out, again, showed that kind of confidence and that poise that I thought, again, really shined through. Chase Burns was great. TJ Friedl made a bad decision that ultimately led to probably 2 runs that wouldn't have scored otherwise. But I don't think you're going to complain about a 5 inning, 3 run performance out of Chase Burns, especially a performance where he struck out the first 5 batters he faced. He struck out 6 of the first 9. The first 6 outs of the game were strikeouts. Struck out Trent Grisham twice, 3 times. I just think in general it was a really good outing for Chase Burns, and it'll be interesting to see again kind of how this Reds team manages it, because we'll talk about it in the back half of the show. But Wade Miley apparently announcing that he's not going to retire now, so the Reds will have to figure out how to manage.
Well, he can take someone else's spot. He can take someone else's spot, brother.
I don't think
you ain't taking Chase Burns' spot.
No, he is not. Any final thoughts on Chase Burns?
No, I'm glad you brought up the point about Friedl. I honestly completely forgot about that. It feels like that was 5 hours ago. But yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have even had as many earned runs on his ledger, so that's important for people that might not have saw the whole start. Next start for Chase Burns will be at Fenway Park. So getting the Yankees at home and then Boston and Fenway Park. That's a pretty cool way to start your big league career. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Chase Burns Day is now, I mean, I think every day is appointment television because I'm a sicko, but Chase Burns Day is officially appointment television for any casual Reds fan.